Today we'll be stepping through the process of implementing the 1.7.5 Hotfix for Survival Game Kit. This will pertain to the ALS and SGK combo, but if you would like to just do this in Survival Game Kit, this will totally pertain to that as well. In this, we have some changes that have to do with the save system, loading duplicate grids for new clients, and also an issue with full auto shooting, not updating correctly on the clients. So first, let's go ahead and get started. You'll need to make sure that you are in the project with Survival Game Kit. We need to begin by being in the inventory save system. So go to content on the left, then under filters, search for inventory save system. You'll see a blueprint for that. Once it's open, we need to go to the event graph. And then in here is a start autosave timer. To find this quickly, so you don't have to go into, it's right here. But what we can do is search on the left for start autosave timer, and you'll see the function that you can go to right now. So the collapse graph. So go ahead and let's open that up, double click, and you'll see that we are in the start autosave timer. We need to find where it says load save grid. So move to the right in about the middle area of it, right after this branch. We need to move the switch has authority to before that point. But this is an issue where it needed to do this check before the grid, loading of the grids, and not after, which was causing it to do it when it wasn't appropriate. So let's go ahead and move all of these nodes to the right of switch has authority, just over to the right a little bit. And then we can drag the switch has authority to the left, and then drag the load grid save to the right. And let's now just drag from true to the switch authority, from authority to the load save grids, and from load grids to load items. Now you can see it's connecting directly through. So from the branch to true, to the switch has authority, from authority to load grids, and then from load grids to load items. So that will correct the issue of having those duplicate items. So that's all you need to do for that. And now let's move on to the issue with the full auto shooting not updating the location properly. So you'll want to compile and save this first. Then you can close that inventory save system. And we need to go to the content on the left and filter master character. You'll see BP underscore master character. Double click that. Then go to the event graph on the left. So double click event graph. We need to find in here server look rotation. You'll see at the very lower left, there's the server look rotation. What we need to do is have a server set screen center right below that. So drag down a little bit, right click and do custom event. Let's call this custom event server set screen center. It needs to be an execute on server. So select that event in the upper right, hit the drop down and do run on server. Check reliable. Now we need to create a variable. So this variable will be called screen center. Go ahead and click plus at variables. Call it screen. You don't have to put a space in this. Center. The type needs to be a vector. So in the upper right, once you've selected it, hit the drop down, choose vector. Then drag that out to the right of the new custom event you've created and hit set. You can connect those two pins, but we need to have information that we're going to be passing along to this. So what we need to do is select the server set screen center event, hit the plus on inputs. You'll see that it created a variable there. We need to call that center. Hit the drop down, choose a vector, and then connect those two pins. Now you can see it is passing that value to the set screen center. Now we'll need to go, still stay in the master character, but we need to go to set all character rotations. To find this, on the left-hand side, go ahead and type in there, set all character, and you'll see set all character rotations. In here, I have disconnected these. So this is going to be a variation from the Survival Game Kit ALS version. If you're in that, you'll see that this pin is connected to as falling from then to, then the inputs is connected into this. So here I will show you both ways to do it. So if you're running just Survival Game Kit and you haven't combined it with Advanced Locomotion, I'll connect it up as it is with this. So this is only if you're running the Survival Game Kit only version. So here's how it should look for you at the moment. You'll hit plus pin. You'll drag off of then 3 and type server set screen center. Then we'll be working from here. Now, if you're running the Advanced Locomotion and Survival Game Kit, I will change it back to how it was a second ago. And you'll have something like this. What you'll need to do for this situation is drag off of inputs. And let's do a sequence. We're going to leave that sequence up there in case you ever need to reference it for the future. And then from this sequence, just drag off of then 1. And now we can continue, regardless of what you're doing with Survival Game Kit or the combination. Just imagine that you're coming off of this, but we're going to do things that are all connected to the server set screen center. So from the left of this, we'll start from the very left and work our way forward. Right click and let's do player inventory component. Actually put a get player inventory component, drag all the way to the bottom. You want to scroll and you'll see that component there, get player inventory component. Go ahead and select that. Drag off of that and do get camera view. We're going to have to go more to the left here. Drag off of camera view and type select. Now from this TP camera, we want to drag off of that to the left and type TP camera. So get TP camera. Off of the FP camera, you want to drag off of that and type get FP camera. From this, we're going to drag off and do another select. Option 1 is fine, but we need to first click this player inventory component to the left, hit Control C and Control V that, so we have another copy here. And we need to drag off of that and type get ADS. You'll see that variable get ADS. And this will drag into that index. Now, the one thing that we do need still is to drag from true and type get ADS camera. From here, we need to drag off of the select and do get world location. And then that will drag into the center input. So what it's doing is it's checking that if you are in ADS, which is aiming down sights, if it's true, it uses the ADS camera. If it's false, it goes here and checks to see if you're in first or third person view. It's getting the world location of that camera and passing that to this event we had created. So now we need to go into the master range weapon and use some of this information since we've set it. Hit compile and save there. Go to the showcase, and in the filters, let's type master range weapon. Go ahead and open that up. In here, we need to go to screen trace. So on the left-hand side, go ahead and type screen trace. And look for it says add spread to trace. It'll be right about here in the whole thing, just after the first box. See where it says camera center? We need to change that. That's not the variable we want to use. So you can select camera center and delete it. Now let's right click and do get player inventory component. Select that. Off of that, we want to drag get master character. From there, we want to do get screen center. And then connect that to the pin that is now open. So it's getting that value that we just found based on which camera you're using, and it's passing it in for when it's doing the screen trace for shooting. We do need to do one more change though. So first, let's go back, since we haven't closed this master character yet. We're going to go back to that, and you'll see we're back here at the set all rotations. Now, we don't want this happening if you're not holding a weapon or an item that you need to actually trace the information for. So let's drag out a little bit here. And then from the then one, drag off and do is valid. Do the one with the white question mark. From the input object, we need to drag to the left and do get held actor. So what that's doing is checking to make sure you're actually holding an item. If you are holding an item, then it will set this value. If you're not holding an item, it doesn't need to set it. So that will complete fixing those features for the 1.75 version. One last thing that we want to do is go into the level and change the version number here, because this says 1.74. Maybe down the road when there's a number of versions out, you'll forget which version you have updated to. This is a good way to instantly know is if you keep this up to date. So click in the world, it's right here on the side. Click the 1.74, go to details, change that to 1.75. Click save all. And now that will be in your files. So this should correct all those issues. This will be the 1.75 version. If you found this helpful, I encourage you to go check out my Discord server. That's going to be in the description. Also, I have a Patreon, and if you're interested in helping support the channel, supporting purchasing future assets for tutorials. And make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell for this video so you get notifications of future videos. So thank you very much for participating, and I will see you all later.